Okay, good morning. I've already recorded this once. I don't know why it did not save, but here we are. So we're doing it again. You're writing the equation. Inputs are our x's, outputs are our y's. Remember, to write the equation, we need to find the slope, which is our y's divided by our x's. Really, this is the difference in the y's divided by the difference in the x's. So we're doing one of these guys. So to get from -3 to -1, that's +2. This is +6. This is +5. This is +1. Right? Nope, I lied. 1 to 4 is 3. Shoot! 4 to 7 is 3. 0 to 1 is 1. 7 to 10 is 3. 1 to 2 is 1. So this is the only one that's catching me off guard. Well, 6 divided by 2, y's divided by x's, is 3. 3 divided by 1 is 3. All of our slopes are 3. So right now we've got an equation that says y equals 3x plus something. To find our y-intercept, we're looking for the x that's 0. Because when we have a 0 in my x-axis, my y-intercept is there. And we get y equals 3x plus 4. Okay? You will absolutely have a question like that on your test. That will be the first question on your test. I don't know how many times I can say that until you believe me. Okay, number 2. So let's get my handy-dandy calculator. I've been trying to get you guys prepared for this by doing 3 things. V equals 1/3 pi r squared h. V equals 1/3 pi times r is 4 squared times 9. V equals 1/3 times 9 is 3. 3 times 16. 16 times 3 gives me 48 pi millimeters cubed. Cubed because volume is always cubed. Volume equals pi r squared h. Volume equals pi times r, which is 2 squared, times 5, and I think we said that was 3/10. I don't really remember. I'm going to say 5 3/10. So now we've got 4 times 5.3, which gives me a volume of 21 2/10 pi. We have to leave it in terms of pi, centimeters cubed. This one, and I'm going to make sure that it's 5 3/10. Let me come back here, double check. Yeah, it's 5 3. Okay. Last one, we've got volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. Volume equals 4/3 pi times 3 cubed. Volume equals 4 divided by 3 times 27, which is 36 pi inches cubed. You will have questions like this on your test. But again, if you know the formulas, it is plug and chug. Now we're going to get to a little bit tougher ones. So now we go from 2A to 2B. Okay. You want to fill the cylinder shown below with water. All you have is a container shaped like a cone with a radius of 3 inches and a height of 5 inches. So we have a cone that has a radius of 3 and a height of 5. How many cones will it take to fill the cylinder? Okay, so we need to find this one first. Volume equals pi r squared h. Volume equals pi times 8 squared times 3. So volume equals 64 times 3, 192 pi inches cubed. Okay, so that's the volume of the cylinder. The volume of the cone is volume equals 1/3 pi r squared h. Volume equals 1/3 times pi times 3 squared times 5. Volume equals 15 pi inches cubed. Okay, we know that this can only scoop up so much water. So we need to figure out how many of these fits inside of this. To do that, we divide. We take 192 pi inches cubed divided by 15 pi inches cubed. Now, might be a little bit above you, but if an inch divided by an inch, that's gone. Pi divided by pi is gone. So we're going to do 192 divided by 15. And that gives me approximately 12.8 cones. So I would say it takes approximately, or it takes 12 8/10 cones to fill it. That's my answer. Okay? You will see a question like that on your test. That's a trickier question, but you will see something like that. Or you need to know how many of these goes into this. Moving on. Okay, which of these two figures has a greater volume? In order to do this, you need to find the volume of both. V equals pi r squared h. V equals pi times 3 squared times 6 and 2/10. V equals 9 times 6 and 2/10 gives me 55 8/10 millimeters cubed. This one is volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. Volume equals 4/3 pi times 5 cubed. The volume equals 4 divided by 3 times 5 to the third power. Gives me 166.67 pi millimeters cubed. So I would say the sphere is bigger. Okay, because 166 is bigger than 55 8/10. Okay, moving on. Use the diagram to find the volume of the right circular cone. The problem here is you have the diameter, you just want the radius. It's half of the diameter, so it's 7 inches. So volume equals 1/3 pi r squared h. Volume equals 1/3 pi times 7 squared times 18 2/10. Volume equals 1 divided by 3 times 49 times 18 2/10. Gives me approximately 297 27 inches cubed. Because we always round to the nearest hundredth. Okay. You'll see a question like that. I like this question. Okay, so there's two figures here. You have a cylinder and you have a cone. So the cone has a height of 4, a radius of 3. Volume equals 1/3 pi r squared h. Volume equals 1/3 pi times 3 squared times 4. Volume equals 12 pi. We know we're going to have to add that to the cylinder. The cylinder has a radius of 3 still, but a height of 7. Volume equals pi r squared h. Volume equals pi times 3 squared times 7. Volume equals 9 times 7, going to give me 63 pi. So now I've got, for both, the volume of the entire figure is 75 pi inches cubed. Why? Because I added my two shapes together. Okay. Last two, I think. Moving on. Okay, tough question. Raymond built a rocket made from a cylinder and a cone. He filled the rocket completely with water. What is the maximum number of gallons of water the rocket can hold? Okay. So now we've got two shapes again. So we've got a cone that we're going to have to find, which we know the height is 14. We know the radius is 4. Volume equals 1/3 pi r squared h. Volume equals 1/3 pi times 4 squared times 14. So, and it says in terms of pi. So we're going to use that. So 1 divided by 3 times 16 times 14 gives me an approximate volume of 74 67 pi inches squared, plus the cone or the cylinder, which we know is 16 and still 4. Volume equals pi r squared squared h. Volume equals pi times 4 squared. Come on, you're good. Just don't walk in front of the camera. Times 16. So my volume equals 16 times 16, 256 pi inches squared. So the total volume of the whole thing is 74 67/100 plus 256. That gives me 330 and 67/100 pi inches cubed. But it wants us to know how many gallons we can fit. And the gallons are 231 inches cubed. Notice how we have pi here. Pi is still a number, so to figure out really what this is, we're going to round. So we need to multiply this by 3 14/100. So the total number of inches cubed is 1,038 and 30/100 inches cubed. That's the total volume in complete inches. So now we have this. We need to figure out how many gallons. So we take this number and we divide it. 1038.3, and we divide it by 231. And it can fit approximately, what is the maximum number of gallons of water can hold? It can hold 4 49/100 gallons. Now, there is one more question, and I'm not going to do it. It was recommended that I put it on there. It is not a question that I like. If you have questions on it, I'll be glad to help you one-on-one. Number 8, what we just did, is more of a bonus question. So you now have the review packet all completely done. If you have any questions, please let me know. You have a test on Friday. Good luck, kiddos. Maybe if I can.